Right guys, so this is going to be your routine for full body cars or the cars morning routine. So we'll start with the neck and we'll work our way down. I'm going to be doing about 3 of each one, each direction, but obviously if you would like to do more, feel free to pause the video and do more. Now I'm not gonna use a lot of coaching here. I'm gonna use minimal coaching. I do have more detailed cars videos individually up on my YouTube page, so you can see those there if you need a bit more guidance. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start with our neck. I'm gonna do these standing, so go ahead and have a nice solid base. I'm gonna start to squeeze my chin in and down like I wanna make a double chin, bringing my chin as close to my chest as possible. From here, I'm gonna keep it there as I start to scrape across. Looking over one shoulder, I start to dump the head back. And I start to look over the other shoulder, bringing my chin over that direction as much as possible. And then again, squeezing my chin down, scraping it across, making sure not to let either of the shoulders move along, but kind of notice if something else wants to come along for the ride. Scraping down, this is 2, we'll go 1 more this way. All the way back, all the way over. You can think about drawing a big circle with your chin. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Keeping the chin as close to my chest, I look over, I start to dump back. I look over my other shoulder, I max it out, I bring my chin down as close as possible, scrape it across. This will be 2, all the way back, all the way over, and all the way down. Last one. Lovely. Now let's move on to the shoulders, yeah? So same thing, nice solid base, nothing moves except for the shoulder. So I've got my pinky facing forward. You can squeeze and make a fist, or you can hold a ball, whatever works for you. Let's go ahead and bring that shoulder all the way across. The arm over as much as possible, keeping the arm straight. I'm gonna come up in deflection. When I can't go anymore here, I'm gonna start to rotate, make sure that bone goes forward. All the way down, come back up, find the end of your extension here, yeah? Then you rotate again, back up into flexion, and all the way across. Make sure you've got your chest straight the whole time. Yeah, this is gonna be 2. So my chest is facing forward. Make sure, especially when you rotate here, that you're not twisting to the side. Keep everything nice and straight. Extend, come down. Find the end of that extension, that's your cue to externally rotate. You're squeezing the whole time. Yeah, imagining you want to crush something in your fist. We'll go 1 more this way, or this side. Up, rotate, extend, down, extend, rotate, back up, and then all the way across. I'm trying to avoid my microphone on this side, so this side should be a little bit easier. So again, pinky facing forward, chest facing forward, all the way across. Squeeze the ball or squeeze your fist to come all the way up into flexion. Make sure you're not pushing your rib cage out here, yeah? Keep everything nice and tight. Rotate behind, touch down, lift back up, find the end of your extension, rotate, up into flexion, and then all the way across, fighting for more external rotation as you come down. Same thing, as you go across, I'm looking for more. You're really looking for the ends of where you can move in each position, yeah? So you only move to the next position once you've found the end of where you can go in the previous one. All the way down. Nice, so that's the shoulders. Let's do the scaps. So we'll just hold a block for the sake of showing you, yeah? So a couple things to keep in mind here. Elbows need to stay straight, rib cage needs to stay in. So I'm gonna elevate, I'm gonna bring my shoulder blades up, then I'm going to squeeze them together, drop them down, and push them forward. So you can see the block is not moving a whole lot up and down, yeah? I'll show you this from the back. So let's do 2 more this way. I go up, I squeeze behind, I slide my shoulder blades down, and then I try to push them away from one another. So there's 2. This will be 3. Squeeze up, pull back, slide down, push forward. Now let's go ahead and try to reverse, yeah? So I'm gonna come back, yeah? Squeeze them together, lift them up, and then push forward. Dropping them down, squeeze together, make sure the elbows are staying straight, all the way up, all the way forward, and all the way down, yeah? So make sure whatever you're using, that the block doesn't move a whole lot. You're trying to keep it roughly in the same spot. All right, scap's done. Let's do our spine, our global spinal colors, yeah? So have a really wide base here, it will help. Arms go across your chest. I like to stack my elbows on top of one another, kind of like I'm giving myself a hug. And then I'm gonna round forward as much as I possibly can without hinging from the hips. I'll show you from the side quickly. Rounding down without hinging, yeah? So I find the end of where my spine can go as much as I can possibly round. I'm gonna squeeze my abs in. It's a bit hard to breathe here. So take a deep breath, squeeze across. You're gonna twist over one foot as much as you can. When you get to the end, you start to laterally flex. Chest comes forward, you bend to the side. Then we go for a little back bend. Chest is up. I side bend on the other side. When I can't bend here anymore, I squeeze down, twist over that foot. Round forward again. We go again. This will be 2. Side bend, chest forward. Back bend, chest up. Side bend, other side. You're looking for a stretch on this opening side here, yeah? Squeeze down, twist over that foot as much as you can and start to round already. Yeah, and last one this way, over. Side, squeeze back, squeeze over. I usually put a little bit more tension into these, but because I'm trying to talk through it, I'm doing a little bit less than usual, yeah? But really you need to squeeze a lot. Now let's go the other direction. So again, I round forward. It's like I'm pushing my spine behind me. I'll show you again from the side. Pushing my spine behind me, rounding as much as I can. Then I'm gonna twist over the opposite foot. Here we go. I find the end of where I can go there when I can't go anymore. Make sure the other hip doesn't follow, yeah? Squeeze over. The stuff squeezes, bend to the side. Then the stuff in between your scaps is gonna squeeze, your chest is gonna pull up. Back bend. We side bend other side. Look for the end of where you can go, and then when you can't go anymore, you start to twist. So keep that opposite hip where it is, round over that foot, squeeze your abs in and come back to the center. There's one. Side bend. Back bend. Side bend, other side. Yeah, like I mentioned, it's a little bit hard to breathe when you're doing these, so I like to pause and take little breaths kind of in between positions. But whatever works for you, squeeze up. These are not easy, yeah? Be feeling these for sure. You wanna act like your spine is kind of like a wet towel and you wanna wring it out, yeah? So, nice, spine done. Let's do our elbows. So, from here, we wanna kind of think about a weird bicep curl, yeah? So I'm gonna be doing this motion, but you need to create tension, obviously. So squeeze your pinkies out away from the center line of the body, and then you imagine you're holding something heavy that you need to pull up towards you. Pinkies come towards the shoulders. When you get here and you can't go anymore, that's your cue to turn the palms down, and you're gonna push down now. Push all the way down, extend the elbows fully. Pinkies out, squeeze up. This is 2. Push all the way down. Pull in, pinkies out, squeeze all the way up. This is the last one in this direction, and then we're gonna switch when we get to the bottom. So now keep those elbows squeezed in towards your sides. We're gonna keep the palms where they are, but squeeze up. Now palms facing down. Same thing, find the end. Twist at the top. Pinkies away, but I'm gonna extend all the way down. I flip the hands at the bottom and I pull back up. This is gonna be 2. Really, really push through so that you're creating tension here. If it helps you to hold something small or like some ankle weights or something, it might help you to create the tension that you're looking for if it's hard to do on your own. Yeah, so these are the elbows. So next, let's do the wrists. Now, if it's hard for you to do both at the same time, obviously just do one at a time. But for this video, I'm just gonna do both, right? So I'm gonna squeeze my elbows in, and now I don't want this flipping of the palms to happen like I did with my elbow cars, right? So palms facing up, you're gonna fight to keep flat hands the whole time. Imagine you had something here, or you can actually place something here so that you don't twist the forearms, yeah? So extend the palms all the way down. Pinkies come in. Palms come towards you without rounding the hands, yeah? Keep them nice and flat. Pinkies go out to the sides. Extend all the way down. All the way in. I'll show you from the side. All the way up. Out, you don't get a whole lot, yeah? So don't expect too much there. All the way down. All the way up. And all the way out. Flex down as much as you can, yeah? Now we're going to reverse the motion. So thumbs out, palms towards you, pinkies towards the center line, palms forward, and thumbs out. That's 1. These can be really hard if you're starting out to not, I know it's not actually rotation, but to twist from the elbow. Yeah, so really fight to keep the motion only coming from the wrists and the hands. Yeah, you don't want to do any of this. Okay, wrists are done. So let's do now our hips since we're already standing. So you do need something to hold on to, either a wall or a chair. Usually will be fine. The standing leg is going to be directly underneath me, and I'm really creating a solid base for myself here. So I bring the working leg across. I'm going to create tension in the whole body as always. I squeeze all the way up. I look for the end of flexion, yeah, here where I can go up. Then I'm going to externally rotate. So I'm going to do kind of like a hacky sack motion with my foot. Bring that leg out to the side as far as you can go without this one following, yeah. And then you're going to look for internal rotation. So heel comes up, knees come together, and I push behind me to extend, yeah? And it's coming from the glute and the hamstring. It's not coming from my spine. So keep your abs nice and tight. Push back, knee goes back out, and I come back up the way I came. I'm looking for the ends of where I can move. Keeping an extra close eye on the opposite side of the pelvis, that it doesn't want to go anywhere, and also on the spine and what the spine wants to do. Yeah, we don't want lots of twisting or moving around. Knee comes back out. This will be 2. And across. Squeeze up. Out. Internally rotate. Knees together. Push behind. Nice tight core here. Knee goes back out from that extended position as you lift up. And you adduct across. Cool, let's do the opposite side. I'm gonna do it from here so that you can also see from the side, yeah? So again, I start with that working leg across. I squeeze it up as high as I can. Then I try to find even more external rotation. I bring it out to the side. I don't have the best balance on this wall here. Internally rotate. Push behind you without letting that spine move. Knee comes back out to the side, all the way up, and all the way across. Again, squeeze up. Create tension the whole time, yeah? Imagine you're trying to squeeze through each position. You're looking for the ends of where your hip can move. I know I've already said that, but it's worth repeating, yeah? This will be the last one this side. Out, in, behind, knee comes out, and you go all the way up and across. Nice. So those are the hips done. So let's go ahead and move down to the floor for our spinal segmentation. So to segment the spine, I'm gonna come into an all fours position. And we're gonna think of a cat-cow, but one segment of the spine at the time. So I don't want the spine to move globally like this, like we would normally do for a cat-cow. I'm gonna try and move it like a little wave, yeah? So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, head in a relatively neutral or comfortable position, and you're gonna try and find that tailbone. This means you're gonna have to squeeze your abs in. Tailbone goes under, squeeze abs, try and round up slowly, round the lower back as much as you can, and then start to move up. All the way up, head comes under, you find the end of your flexion here, you keep that top part rounded as you arch away. One vertebra at a time, let the belly come forward, chest pulls through the arms without dumping into the shoulder blades, yeah? Look up. And then you can reset the head. Again, tailbone under. Slowly, slowly squeeze up. You can take your time with these. Arch away one at a time. You can imagine, if it helps, like a little string pulling each one through the center. Last one here. Tailbone under. Slowly rounding up, find your maximum flexion, and then arch away one at a time. All the way through, and then finding your maximum extension, yeah? Lovely, so spinal extension is now done. Let's move on to our knees. So if it's not comfortable for you to lift your leg up, you can always have a couch or a wall, something behind you to support you. Yeah, so before we do the full knee car, let's do a couple capsular cars to understand the rotation of the knee. You need to flex the foot up. Yeah, this is super important so that we keep the work where we want it. Imagine you have a little X or a sticker here. You're gonna rotate your shin bone one direction and then the other direction. And you're looking for the ends of where you can go, and you're giving it a little squeeze. Okay, so now we're gonna be exploring this rotation also with flexion and extension. To do that, I want you to take the same arm, hook it under that knee, place the hand on the opposite bicep, and then this hand is gonna go on top. Help yourself up or lean back. We'll start with external rotation, yeah? So flex that foot up, keep it flexed the whole time. Squeeze out. You're fighting to keep that rotation as you extend up. Then you find the opposite rotation. So now I'm internally rotated. I'm fighting for more as I come all the way down. I flex, I squeeze, I go out again all the way up. Internally rotate, fight for more all the way down. This is 2. All the way up. And last one. Nice, now let's change and go the other direction. So I'm gonna keep this internal rotation. Squeeze all the way up, externally rotate, squeeze all the way down for 3. That was a nice little pop. Ooh, yeah, 2. And this will be the last one. Lovely. And set that down. Let's go same thing, other side. Yeah, so before we start, flex that foot up. Let's find the rotation. Make sure you know where you're going. Yeah, so shin bone goes out, shin bone comes in. You can use your hands, whatever you need to kind of understand this motion. And then when you're ready, same arm under, bicep, other hand on top, pull up. We start with external. So toes are pointing away from the center line of the body. I'm gonna extend all the way up. Internally rotate at the top, fight for more of that as I come down and flex as much as I can. Externally rotate again, all the way up. This is 2. Internally rotate down, change at the bottom. Externally rotate up, this is 3. And then when we get to the bottom of this one, we're gonna change. Yeah, so opposite way now, all the way up, all the way out, all the way down. Again, for 2. You're always looking for the ends of where you can go, otherwise it's not really worth doing, yeah? So really, really fight to go everywhere that you can go, pain-free, okay? Knees are done, so now let's do our patella. So these are kind of fun. You need to have one leg straight. Yeah, this is gonna be your working leg. Now, obviously you can't actively move your kneecap around, so we need to use our hands. Leg needs to be straight, quad needs to be relaxed. You're gonna look for your patella with your fingertips, and then you're gonna imagine like a little clock on your knee. Yeah, so you want to push, if the clock is here, you want to push the patella in every direction of the hands of the clock. Yeah, so I find it, I wiggle it around a little bit, I push it up, and I start to make a little slow circle all the way over to 3 o'clock, then down to 6, over to 9, and back up to 12, and we go for 3. I'm going with these a little bit faster than I normally do, just because for the sake of time here. 2, 1, and then other way around. You're gonna find that there's some places where it's easy to move and other places where it feels a little bit more sticky. So you can hang out and gently press into the places where it is more difficult to move, as long as everything is nice and pain-free. Yeah? Let's go for the other side. So my quad is relaxed, my leg is totally straight. Yeah? I find my kneecap, I give it a little wiggle, and then I think about the hands of my clock. I push it up, I push it over, I push it down towards me, and then away to the side, and up again towards my foot. This will be 2, and 1. Let's go the other way. 3, 2. My cat is meowing at my door. 1. She wants to be included. Yeah. Now, kneecap is done. So I've let my cat in, and now we're going to do our ankles. So we have the same setup that we do for the knees in terms of holding the leg. If that's not comfortable for you, you can also place a block under the foot and do it with a straight leg. Yeah. But I'm going to show you from here, because this is kind of the standard way that we learn. All right. So now I want to think about this bone. I do not want it to rotate. Yeah. When we did the knee, it was rotating in and out, and I can feel this bone moving. Now I don't want that to happen. Other stuff obviously is going to move, but not the bone, please. So from here, I'm going to point my foot all the way down, and then I'm going to invert my ankle. So I'm going to round the outside of my ankle here, and then flex my foot up. And then I'm going to bring the inside of my foot away from the center line of my body, all the way down. There's 3. This will be 2. Yeah. So when you're everting the ankle, yeah, the center line, you're tilting the inside of your foot away from you, and then you start to point down, and then you bring the inside of the foot towards you to invert the ankle. And flex up as much as you can. Now let's go the other way, also for 3. 2. And 1. Very nice. Moving on to the other side. Yeah. Thank you for your help, Peanut. Other side. So, points all the way down. Invert. So outside of the ankle is rounded. Flex up. Evert. So inside of the foot goes away from you and not externally rotating from the knee. Yeah. So just tilting the ankle here. It's not a huge movement. It's a little bit subtle. This might take a little bit of time to figure out how to differentiate between the knees and the ankles. I know it took me a hot minute when I was learning. So there's 3 one way. Let's go the other way. Yeah. So invert. Inside of the foot comes towards the center line. Point down. Evert to come up, and flex up at the top. So when we have the toes pointed, this is plantar flexion. This is eversion, and this is dorsiflexion. 2. I might have already done 3. I'm not even sure. There we go. Lovely. So last but not least, let's do our toes. So this is the internet, so I will keep my socks on, but I will use my hand to kind of help you visualize what's happening here, okay? So I would suggest you do this obviously with no socks on so that you can actually move your feet properly. But I'm gonna start first by keeping my little toes down and just lifting my big toe up and off the floor, yeah? So if you need to hold the other toes down while you do this to help yourself learn, obviously you can. So little toes down, big toe flexes up as much as I can go, tap down, lift up, tap down, lift up. Nice, and now, excuse me, my love, we're gonna do the opposite. So big toe stays down, little toes lift and tap. Again, if you need to hold that toe down with your fingers, feel free. 3. And now we're gonna piano, yeah? So lift the toes up, spread them out. I'm keeping the ball of the foot on the floor. And you're gonna piano your toes down from the outside. So from the pinky toe, one by one, all the way down. Again, lift up, spread, touch down one at a time. And this will be the last one. Here we go. And then the other way. This one for me is super difficult still. I still have not managed to master this one. We're gonna piano the opposite direction. So again, spread up, big toe comes down, and then the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, and the pinky toe comes last. This one is so hard for me. Big toe down, then the next one, then the next one, and little toe comes last. It's the thought that counts with this kind of stuff, yeah? So even if you're not able to do it now or even a few years from now, like me with this one, it's the thought that counts, yeah? It's important that you try to do it, even if it doesn't move. Other side. So first we're gonna do our big toe taps, yeah? So I've got all of my little toes down on the floor. I lift my big toe up as high as I can. I tap it down for 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm gonna do the opposite. So big toe stays down, little toes lift up. Feel free to use your hands if you need. 2, hold at the top, and then touch down, hold at the top, touch. Nice, let's do our piano. So toes come up, they spread, and then I'm gonna go little toe first, and then the inside ones, big toe comes last. Up, spread. All the way down, last one. And it's funny, even when I'm doing this, you can see other things want to move, like my other foot wants to move and my fingers also want to move. Last one this way. We're almost done, Peanut. Nice, and then we'll go piano the other direction. So spread, big toe, next, 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 again. Big toe down. And last one here, big toe, next, next, and last. Yeah. So that's it, guys. You've done all of your cars for today. Well done, and wishing you a lovely rest of your day.